Welcome to the NCDAT Cybersecurity and GDPR update. This is the training that all NCDAT staff have to undertake to ensure that we comply with DFE regulations. The objectives of the training are for us to understand the NCDAT processes for cybersecurity, GDPR and e-safety. Cybersecurity is one of the highest risks identified by the Trust. This is because the DFE does not allow schools to deal with criminals. So therefore, should a ransomware attack or a cyber attack happen and we lose our data, then unfortunately we need to start again. So this is why it's very important that staff view cybersecurity as a high priority. We also have a system in which the majority of users are not employees and often deliberately try to attack the system. Our biggest risk, though, is through our communication. The stats show that we receive a massive amount of communication, and therefore we need to know how to protect ourselves against criminals that will attack us in this fashion. Technical solutions to prevent cyber attacks are listed below. We spend thousands every year preventing cyber attacks. But even if a cyber attack does happen, then we have backups both on-site and off-site to restore information quickly. Regardless of what technical solutions are in place, the highest vulnerability is human error. So we've had to put the following safeguards in place: multi-factor authentication, passwords, IP address monitoring, and phishing simulations. The first of these is multi-factor authentication, or two types of login: what you know and what you have. So we know a password and we have a mobile device or security key to give us a code to access the system. The computer and mobile device or security key need to be linked together so that you can get the code from either of these from your phone or security key and enter it into your computer. You will not be able to override this, so if you do not have the device that's linked to your computer, then you will not be able to access the system. If you haven't got multi-factor authentication set up, or if you're having any issues with this, please log a call with your IT team and they will resolve any issues you have. We require all staff to have a password to access the network. Your password should be secure and at least 8 digits. And it should not contain personal information. The best passwords are normally those that have 3 random words that are not linked to you in any way. We check your passwords against SpecOps Password Database, which is a database of over 200,000 passwords which are known to cyber criminals. And therefore, if your password is on that database, it is easy to hack. The IT team will contact you to change your password if your password is a known password on the database. You should change your passwords regularly and you should not write them down. Sharing your password is against our code of conduct, so please make sure that you keep your password to yourself and do not share your login details with anyone. If you have any issues with your password, please contact the IT team. Another way in which we protect the system is through IP monitoring. IP monitoring is a security setting that only allows devices with an IP address in the UK to access the system. This means that if you go on holiday or go abroad with the school on a school trip, you'll be unable to access the school system unless you have a prior agreement with the IT team to unlock that location. Requests to access the system from abroad must be made in advance prior to travelling to ensure that all security systems are in place. As noted earlier, one of the biggest threats to our organisation is phishing emails. These emails will attempt to get you to click on a link or open a document that contains a virus or some ransomware software. These emails are normally disguised and look real, but there are some hallmarks for us to look out for. If the email is labelled urgent and requires you to open or follow a link, please check the sender's email address to check if it's genuine. If you're in doubt, do not open it and check with the IT team. These emails will usually contain spelling or grammatical errors, so please be on the lookout for these. If it looks or feels suspicious, do not open it. Check before replying and click on the Fish Alert button in your email. As part of our training and awareness to NCDAT staff, we will simulate phishing emails to confirm staff awareness. If you repeatedly fail the simulation, we will require you to do further training and awareness. The next section of this training is GDPR. All schools have to comply with the legislation in the Data Protection Act of 2018. To do this, we have the following in place. All of the policies are available on the portal. As an organisation, NCDAT has a responsibility for the data that we use in our schools. Our responsibilities summarised on this slide. Please note that no data should be shared with anyone, including other organisations, unless they are specifically stated on the privacy notice. If they are not, please see Adam Pearson, who will arrange to undertake a DPIA to ensure that they can be added to the privacy notice. The Data Protection Act also outlines the responsibility of each individual when they handle data. You are responsible for the data that you handle and process on a day-to-day basis. Please do not share information with anyone either inside the organisation or outside the organisation who does not have the right to view that information. This includes student data. It also includes displaying student data on whiteboards, notice boards, where other people may view that data who don't have the right to view it. Please make sure that you do not send personal information, including student trackers, to your personal email addresses. Do not download personal information, including student trackers, to your own computer, where other people may have access to it. All of these things would constitute a breach of the Data Protection Act. Any breach has to be reported to Adam Pearson or to the Data Protection Officer email address dpo@ncdat.org.uk. We as an organisation only have 72 hours to respond to any data breach that occurs. That means that the timescales are very tight to investigate and then to report to the ICO if we feel that a breach has occurred. The last area for us to consider is e-safety. The need for e-safety in schools grows every year, and we have the following in place to support the students and staff. We have smooth wall firewalls and web filters. We have endpoint protection through Sophos, Panda, or Microsoft Defender. We actively monitor the smooth wall through Smooth Wall Monitor, and we have net support in classrooms. The smooth walls that we have in place to protect the students and staff provide two layers of protection, blocking inappropriate sites and monitoring student activity. Our smooth walls capture over 7.5 million reportable hits per animal. Out of this, 300 have caused concerns in the following categories. These have been picked up and dealt with by year managers. In regards to e-safety, we all have a responsibility to ensure that our children are safe. This means that we would want you to report any websites or content that is inappropriate. Report any concerns that you have regarding any websites that students are trying to access or any buzzwords that they might be searching for. Please ensure that any adult content on your own personal devices is closed down before entering the building, as this will trigger alerts on our smooth wall. Accessing inappropriate material on a work device is contrary to our code of conduct. We have had no major outages in the trust and we want this to continue. So thank you for taking the time to watch this training.